Hello and welcome, Number Hunter 91 here, and we've had the set release, well, the info for the set release of Battles of Legend Heroes Revenge. First got announced on Konami's card database, which we'll be looking at in a moment, but we'll go through the Wikipedia one, which has most of the rarities on it. They are missing some. It's a 94 card set being released on the 11th/12th of July, depending on where you are. Artwork on the pack actually looks pretty stunning, I'm not going to lie. So it introduces to the TCG new members and or support for the Black Luster Soldier, Gimmick Puppet, Harpy, Hero, Magical Musket, Number, Psyframe, Solomon Great, Speedroid, TG, Traptrix and Vendread archetypes, as well as the Fairy Tale and Railway series. Introduces the Battle Wasp and Fortune Fairy archetypes and the first support for the Vision Hero archetype to the TCG. Card ratio in the pack is 5 per pack with 4 ultras and 1 secret. When we go over to the actual card database one, then we may be able to see some of the rarities that they've missed off. So jumping straight in, you've got Five-Headed Dragon as a secret, Imperia, which we'll look at in a moment, Water Life, Gold Moon Coin, Gingerbread House. Oh, that's going to be a fun one to read. Got some Vision Heroes, Fortune Ladies. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Fortune Lady effect monsters, with 5 of those being ultras, 1 secret. And I'm guessing they've got 3 spells here that are all ultra rares. TGs, Gear Zombie, Drillfish, and Metal Skeleton. Okay, 4 of the ones that I'm at are the 5 that I'm well and truly after in this because of my screen name. Are the numbers. So we've got number 26, Spaceway Octa Bypass. Number 60, Jagars the Timeless, if I pronounce that right. Number 76, Harmonizer Gradiel, or Gradiel. Number 97, Draglubion, if I've pronounced them correctly, with that number 97 being secret, the other 3 being ultras. Then you've got the Battle Wasp archetype, which I've had a little look at, and I'll do a separate video on those. They're kind of an interesting archetype, but as I said, I'm going to do a separate video on those later. They've got a fair bit. They go down to Battle Wasp Nest. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 12 cards for that one. 4 of those are synchros. One of those synchros is a tuna synchro. You've got a tuna effect monster in there as well. All Eyes Pendulum Dragon as an effect pendulum. You got a high Speedroid Kite Drake in there. Then we get onto Link monsters. So we have a Vendread Saviour, which is the Vendread Link. Black Luster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos, Harpy Conductor. Finally getting that. I thought that was going to come out in Sisters of the Rose, if I was perfectly honest. I was surprised it didn't, but I'm glad that's now coming out. Double-Headed Anger Knuckle, Traptrix Sarah, which is broken for the deck. I'm going to look at trying to get a Traptrix deck put together for that one. High Speedroid Rubber Band Shooter. Some of their names just don't seem right. Psyframe Lord Lambda is one of the ones that people was after. That allows you to use your Psyframe monsters effects even if you control stuff, which is really good. Magical Musketeer Max Link, which I do need to do a bit more research on, but I have it open in a tab to look at. Gimmick Puppet Chimera Doll, looking forward to that one. Salomon Great Almirage, looking forward to that. Stardust Mirage, Dark Sacrifice, Foolish Burial, which they're saying is an ultra, but I think it might be a secret, which I'll come to in a bit. Symbol of friendship, couple more vision heroes, Stratos. They've not put the rarity. I'm kind of hoping for the hero players that that's got a secret print in, but we'll double check that in a moment. Vision hero, Destiny hero, dangerous. Dragonette Crow, never sold dragon. Nice. We'll definitely have to see what. Even as an ultra, that's a brilliant reprint. The only other print that's had is gold rare. Is the gold printing. Scrolling down, you got Lunar Light, Crimson Fox, Collider Chick, pretty decent. Pancratops as a secret, that's beautiful. Borosaur Dragon, that'll help drive the price of that down a little bit, which is pretty good. Salamangreat Sanctuary, Willard Salamangreat, Cyberstein in this one. Okay, it's nice for it to have a reprint. Doesn't get used, but it's nice to have it there. Guardian of Order, Wyver Burster, and Clap Serpent. Artifact Scythe, Artifact Lancia. Nice, I like that. I like them. Lancia is a secret rare. That's gonna look pretty nice. Shadol, Falco, Hedgehog, Squadmaster, and Beast. The only one that's got its rarity is Beast, which is a little bit of a shame. Subterra Guru getting a reprint. It's quite nice. Herald the Arclight, much needed. That is so much needed. Necrocycle we knew about from day one. Interrupted Kaiju Slumber as a secret. Oh, I do love that. Oh, that is going to look really pretty as a secret rare. Summon Limit, Sky Striker, Ray, Engage, Afterburners, Widow Anchor. I'd kind of hold off on them a little bit. Because their original sets being included in Megatins, which get released about a month later. They normally get released, August, September time. And we're getting a World Prize card reprinted. Yay, I can finally get hold of one. Number 93, Utopia Kaiser, which will come in handy for the Utopia double combos. If you can pull them off. So overall, it's looking to be a really, really decent set. I've picked out a few of the cards in it to have a look at. All Eyes Phantom Dragon. I was half expecting this to be along the Odd Eyes route, because we're still waiting for a couple of those to be released. But it's not. Well, it is and it isn't. Its effects aren't too bad. Pendulum effect once per turn at the end of the damage step. If your Dragon Pendulum monster attacked an opponent's monster, you can activate this effect. It can attack again in a row. You cannot declare attacks the turn you activate this effect except with that monster. So it does limit you, but it's a scale 0 as well. It's level 10, so it's difficult to get it back out, but the fact it's scale 0 is quite nice. Monster effect cannot be normal summon / set, must be special summoned from your hand or face up extra deck by tributing all monsters you control, minimum of 2, including a Dragon Pendulum monster. You can only special summon All Eyes Phantom Dragon once per turn this way. Once per turn, during damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent's monster, double this card's current attack until the end of the turn. Once per turn, when an opponent activates a spell / trap card or quick effect, you can send one spell or trap card you control to the grave to negate the activation. Okay, so you can get it out, but you've got to basically be winning that turn, because you've got to tribute everything, all monsters you control, including the Dragon Pendulum. Not entirely keen, but it'll be good to see how some of the Dragon Pendulum players use it. Magical Musketeer Max, this is the one that they've been waiting for, requiring a level 8 or lower Magical Musket monster. If it's linked summoned, activate one of the following effects. So you can either add Magical Musket spell / traps with different names from your deck to your hand up to the number of monsters your opponent controls. Special summon Magical Musket monsters with different names from your deck up to the number of spell or traps your opponent controls. can only use this effect of Musketeer once per turn. During either player's turn, you can activate magical musket spell or traps from your hand. So it gives them a going second option now. If you're going first against this, game 1 could be interesting. But games 2 and 3 are going to be a little bit, to an extent, easier to deal with. Because you can kind of, you'll know what you're getting up against, so you can kind of judge how far you want to take the board. Salomon Great Almirage is the other link one, which I believe can actually go into other decks as well. One normal summoned monster with 1,000 attack or less. Okay. That doesn't actually leave many. Okay. Quick effect. You contribute this card, then target one monster you control. It cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects this turn. When a normal summoned monster you control is destroyed by battle while this card is in your graveyard and special summon this card, you can only use that effect of Salomon Great Almirage once per turn. So it's essentially a Link Karibo, but for a normal summoned monster. Not too bad actually. Bottom right arrow though, which is a little, I say it's a little bit weird, but it's also quite nice. Okay, Traptrix Sarah. This card is insane in a Traptrix deck. And when I read its effect out, you'll understand why. So it's an Earth Link 1 plant effect monster, 800 attack, bottom center as its arrow, and it requires one non-link Traptrix monster. This link summon card is unaffected by trap cards, so it's unaffected by, once it's hit the field, it's unaffected by Solemn Strike, Torrential Tribute, and cards like that. Which, yeah, okay, can understand it's Traptrix, but to an extent. You can only use each of the following effects of Traptrix Sarah once per turn, and not during the damage step. If a normal trap card is activated, you can special summon one Traptrix monster from your deck with a different name to the cards that you control, and that includes your opponents. So if your opponent activates Metaverse, for instance, you can summon out a Traptrix monster. If your other Traptrix monster's effect is activated, you can set one whole normal trap card directly from the deck. Bottomless, time space trap hole, floodgate trap hole, you name it, there's loads of them that you can set. So this builds up field presence very, very, very quickly for the deck, to the extent they'll get 5 back row out before you realise it. So as I said, I'm going to look at getting a deck together with that one. Harpy Conductor, all it requires is 2 wind monsters. Becomes Harpy Lady while it's on the field or in the graveyard. You can only use each of the following effects of Harpy Conductor once per turn, and it's a bottom left, bottom right arrow as well, so it's a decent link 2 for them. 1900 attack isn't too much to sniff at either. If a Harpy monster or monsters you control be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy one spell or trap card you control instead. If another face-up Harpy monster you control returns to your hand except during the damage step, you can target one special summoned monster your opponent controls, return it to the hand. I'd actually forgotten about its second effect. Oh, Harpy Dancer comes to mind with that one. And Harpy Harpist actually has an effect that returns stuff from field to hand. Oh, I like that idea. Gimmick Puppet Chimera Doll is one that I'm interested in. I've run Gimmick Puppets in the past, but have so far unfortunately failed to get them to work properly in Master Rule 4. But this should hopefully allow it. So it requires 2 machine monsters, which isn't too bad. Whole deck's machines. During your main phase, if you control this link summon card, you can activate this effect. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except Machine XC's monsters. Also take one Gimmick Puppet monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. Then if all monsters you control are Gimmick Puppet monsters, minimum of one, you can special summon one Gimmick Puppet monster from your hand. You can only use this effect of Chimera Doll once per turn. So it's an extender for them as well, which is quite nice. Gimmick Puppets, most of them are level 8s. But they all have various effects to be able to get themselves out into the field. So I will be looking into this deck a little bit more. So going on to the card database one. This is where it initially released. You can see some here. So we've got Imperia, which is an Earth level 2 effect reptile monster, 500, 500. If this card is summoned, draw a card. You can only use it once per turn. Okay, fine. Not really too bothered about that. Water Alive. If you can try okay. Gingerbread House. Here we go. Continuous spell card. During your opponent's standby phase, you can have as many monsters they control as possible. Gain 600 attack. Then destroy as many monsters as they control as possible with 2500 or more attack. And if you do, gain life points equal to the number of monsters destroyed times 500. The attack gain remains even if this card leaves the field. You can only use that effect once per turn. Oh, that's actually quite evil. So basically, any monsters that they have out that are minimum 1900 attack on their field when they enter standby phase, you activate this. You can activate this. They gain 600, which puts them at the minimum requirement of 2500. And because once they've gained, it then destroys as many monsters they control as possible with 2500 or more attack. Oh, I quite like that. Vision Heroes, that's going to be an Ultra. Hyperia is going to be a secret. 500 Dragon looks like it's going to be a secret. I think that was noted. Yep, secrets. Gingerbread House Goat. Yeah, Ultra. Yeah, Foolish Burial was one of the ones that I was saying about. The artwork for it looks like it's going to be a secret, but they've put it down as an Ultra on there. Vision Fusion, Vision Release, Apparition for Heroes. Fortune Ladies, here we go. This is one of the 2 new archetypes being introduced in this set. So, Fortune Lady Hikari. When you draw this card, you can reveal it, special summon it from your hand. If this card is special summoned from the hand, you can target one monster you control, send it to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon one level 1 spellcaster monster from your deck. You can only use each effect of Fortune Lady Hikari once per turn. Fortune Fairy-EN is a level 2. Oh wow, these have all got 0 attack, 0 defense, I've just noticed. I don't like that idea behind them, but their effects are slowly making up for it. They've got 1 for each level and each attribute. Nice. So level 1 light, level 2 fire. They're all spellcaster effects. So Fortune Fairy-EN. When you draw this card, you can reveal it, special summon it from the hand. Okay. If this card is special summoned from the hand, you can target one set card your opponent controls, destroy it. You can only use each effect once per turn. That's just one set card. It doesn't matter whether it's monster or spell or trap. Pretty good. Fortune Fairy Who, level 3 wind. When you draw this card, you can reveal it, special summon it from the hand. So they've all got that same first effect by the looks of it. Yep. If this card is special summoned from hand, target one of your banished spellcaster monsters, add it to hand. You can only use that each effect once per turn. They're all hard once per turns as well for each effect. Fortune Fairy Sui if it's special summon from the hand, target one other face-up monster on the field, banish it until the standby phase of your next turn. Fortune Fairy-EN. If it's special summon from the hand, banish one spellcaster type monster from your deck. Fortune Fairy Chi, which is level 6 Earth, level 5 Dark, level 4 Water. The others, when you draw a reveal it, special summon from hand. If it's special summon from hand, make each player draw one card. Then we have 3 spells for them. Unacceptable result. If you control a spellcaster monster, special summon one Fortune Fairy monster from your hand. Bypasses their once per turn clause in that. Miracle Stone, can only control one Miracle Stone. All spellcaster monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense for each Fortune Fairy monster you control with different names. Once per turn, when an attack is declared involving your Fortune Fairy monster, you can draw a card. So basically, if you get 5 of these monsters on board, they're on 2,500 each. Okay. Target one Lucky Loan. Target one Fortune Fairy monster you control. Special summon one spellcaster monster from your hand or deck whose original level is 1 lower than that monster's. Also, during your next turn, after this card resolves, you can normal special summon. Normal or special summon monsters except spellcasters, and you can only activate 1 Lucky Loan per turn. Not a bad looking archetype, if I'm honest. If you've got Fortune Fairy Chi out, you activate Lucky Loan, bring out level 5. The only one that doesn't work on is with Fortune Fairy Hikari, which is the level 1, but it works on the other 5. That's not too sad. TG Gear Zombie, Drillfish, Metal Skeleton, Sonic Stun is for TGs. Okay. And you got the numbers. So number 26, Space Octa Bypass. It's a rank 3 light psychic XE effect monster, 800 attack, 2400 defense. Start of the battle requires 2 level 3 monsters. Sorry. At the start of the battle phase, you can detach 1 material from this card. During this battle phase, a player can only attack with 1 monster, and its attack becomes a direct attack. You can only use this effect of number 26, Spaceway Octa Bypass, once per turn. At the end of the damage step, if a monster inflicted battle damage by a direct attack, give control of that monster that attacked to the turn player's opponent. Oh, it's a snatch steal at the price of life points. Wow, I quite like that. Number 60, Dagaris the Timeless. Almost said Time Lord then. Fire rank 4 Fiend, XE effect, 1200. Has a few effects, okay. 2 level 4 monsters. Detach 2 materials from this card, then activate 1 of the following effects. Skip your next draw phase, also draw 2, then discard a card. Skip your next main phase 1, also special summon 1 monster from your graveyard in defense position. Skip the battle phase of your next turn, also double the attack of 1 monster you control until the end of this turn. So the main one that's going to get used for is that last effect. Guaranteed. Guaranteed that's only going to get used for its last effect. Harmonizer. Oh, sorry. Number 76, Harmonizer Goodell. Or Gradiel. 2 level 7 monsters. Rank 7 light. Fairy XE. 2700 attack, 2100 defense. 2 level 7 monsters. This card's attribute is also treated as each of its attached materials attributes. Cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster of the same attributes. Also cannot be destroyed by the activated effects of your opponent's monsters with the same attribute. Okay, built-in protection, I quite like that. And if you make it with, say, a dark and a wind, it becomes light, dark, wind. Okay. Quick effect, you can target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard, detach 1 material from this card, and if you do attach that target to this card as a material, you can only use this effect to number 76, Harmonizer, once per turn. Wow, I like that. Wow, I like that. Oh, that's going in my Dark Magician deck. Thinking of it. That's going to go into my Dark Magician deck. So it becomes light and dark, and then quick effect, I can detach one, which will still keep its dark attribute, attach one of my opponents, and it'll gain that attribute. Oh, I quite like that. Number 97 is a rank 8 Dark Dragon XE effect monster, 3000, 3000. 2 level 8 monsters. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Okay, a little bit of built-in protection. You can detach one material from this card, take 2 dragon number monsters with different names from your extra deck and or graveyard except for itself. Special summon one of them and attach the other to it as a material. Also, for the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon other monsters or declare an attack except with that special summon monster, and you can only use that effect once per turn. Now I can see why they got rid of Dark Matter Dragon. Oh, that's actually quite nasty, thinking about that. Battle Wasps, I'm not going to go into these too much detail. One, there's quite a few of them. Two, I'm going to do a separate video on those. And I will do a separate smaller video on the Fortune Ladies. And I'll see if I can find a way of having a little fiddle around and trying to get some quick decks built for them to help give an idea. High Speedroid Kite Drake is a level 8 wind machine synchro effect with 3000 attack, 2800 defense. Pretty good. 1 wind machine tuner and 1 plus non-tuner monsters. If it's synchro summoned to activate one of these effects, destroy all other cards on the field, or negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent currently controls. Pretty decent. If this card in your possession is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card, I do really apologise for yawning so much. You're going to add 1 Speedroid monster from deck to hand. Fair enough. Venture Slayer, Saviour, sorry. High-Speed Conductor we've gone over. Double-Headed Anger Knuckle is for level 10 machine types, so trains. Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos, quite an OP card. If you can make it using a level 7 or higher monster as material. Traptrix Sarah we've been over. Rubber Band Shooter, Link 2, bottom left, bottom right. Wind, requiring 2 wind monsters. During your main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon 1 wind monster. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except synchros. You can banish 1 wind synchro monster from your extra deck, reveal 2 Speedroid monsters with different names from your deck whose total levels equal the level of that synchro monster. How many level 12 wind synchros are there? Depends on the levels of the Speedroids as well, actually. Your opponent randomly picks 1 for you to add to hand and send the other to the graveyard. You can only use each effect once per turn. Oh, I'm not too sure now that I've read the rest of that I'm keen on that effect, if I'm honest. Cyframe Lambda. This is the one that I was saying about allowing you to use their effects. So it's a link to bottom left, bottom right, light, psychic, link effect monster with 1700 attack. 2 monsters accept tokens, so it's a generic link 2 as well. You can activate the effects of Cyframe Gear monsters in your hand even while you control a monster or monsters. If a face-up psychic monster you control is banished face up while this card monster is except during the damage step, you can activate this effect during the end phase of this turn. Add 1 Cyframe card from your deck to hand. You can only use that effect once per turn. Been over the other 2, the other few there. So, Foolish Burial in this sample picture looks to be secret, not ultra, as it says on here somewhere. There it is. Oh, frozen. they're saying it's ultra, but to me that looks like it's going to be a secret, which is not too bad actually. Symbol of friendship, getting a foil upgrade. Yeah, okay, not too bothered about that. Oh, they've put the gold picture in. Hold on. Yeah, they've put the gold picture in on that one. Dark Necro, Never Soul Dragon. What they said that's going to be? That's going to become a... Oh, they haven't said. Okay, that's fine. Pankratops, Borisword, quite nice. These two getting foil upgrades is quite nice. Cyberstein getting a newer foil upgrade. Oh wow, they've actually got on here whether they're limited or not. Limited. Is there anything on here that's semi-limited? Not that I've seen so far. Okay. Yeah, Stratos getting another reprint. It's quite nice. What else we got? Guardian of Order. If you control 2 or more light monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, these are the main ones at the bottom here. The Sky Striker stuff. As I said, I'd probably hold off on these because their set is getting reprinted in the tins literally about a month and a half later. So the other main one is this one right at the bottom, number 93, Utopia Kaiser. Rank 12 light, warrior XE effect, 2500 attack, 2000 defense. Materials are 2 or more number XE monsters with the same rank that have XE's material. Once per turn you can special summon rank 9 or lower number monsters with 3000 or less attack that have different ranks from each other from your extra deck, up to the number of XE materials with different names attached to this card, but their effects are negated. Then detach 1 material from this card. For the rest of this turn, unless this effect was negated, you cannot special summon, and any battle damage your opponent takes becomes halved. While you control another number XYZ monster, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. To be honest, as I said, this is more going to get used for the Utopia double effect. Jumping it up to 5,000, and then you could still use its effect to bring out more if you've got space. But mostly if you get, most of the time you're only really going to go into normal Utopia and do the 10,000 damage from that. So let us know what you think of the set down in the comment section below. I will put link to both the card database and the Battles of Legend wiki, Yugipedia site in the description box as well for you to go and check out. Keep an eye for it to update because they haven't put ratio of secrets to ultras in it yet. And I will see you in my next video.